In the year 2000, the BMW E46 M3 was unveiled to the world at the Geneva Motor Show. If the bulging fenders and the quad-tipped exhaust didn't get you, then the fact that its 3.2-liter naturally aspirated engine made 333 horsepower did. I'm Danny with Sideways at 11, and today I wanted to revisit the E46 M3 along with some tips on what to look for if you wanted to buy one today. Yes, today we're a little spoiled with the horsepower figures, but just think about it for a minute. Back then, the Audi S4 made 250 horsepower. A Porsche 911 made 300 horsepower. Even a Camaro Z28 SS made 320 horsepower, and we thought that was fast. So for BMW to debut a car that made all of this power naturally aspirated was groundbreaking. I was a teenage car fanatic, and that was the first time I had ever heard the term independent throttle bodies. It also revs its brains out with an 8,000 RPM redline. At the time, a Civic Si with a B16A2 revved to 8,000 RPM, and I thought that was amazing. But that was a tiny 1.6 liter 4-cylinder engine. Not to take away from the magic of the B-series Honda engines, but we're talking about a 3.2 liter. That's incredible. Even today, 17 years later, most naturally aspirated V6 sports cars have more displacement and make less or similar horsepower figures. In 2001, the car was finally available for sale to buyers in the US, and soon became the holy grail for BMW fans and the car everybody wanted to beat. It had two transmissions, a 6-speed manual or an SMG sequential manual gearbox, which used an automated clutch. It was controlled by an ECU and hydraulics to change gears either by paddles or automatically. The car came in a highly desirable coupe model as well as a convertible model, which accounted for 40% of M3 sales. There was also a competition package or ZCP package, which was introduced in 2004 for the coupe models only. It came with several performance upgrades, including a bigger 2-piece cross-drilled and enlarged front brake rotors, a reduced steering ratio, an M-Track setting for the dynamic stability control, 19-inch alloy wheels, an Alcantara wrapped 3-spoke steering wheel, and the option to get gorgeous Interlagos blue metallic paint. There were only 3,011 examples of the competition package produced worldwide, with 2,410 of those models sold in the US market. The E46 M3 was and is one amazing car, so here's what to look for if you're interested in owning a piece of BMW history today. The single most important thing to look for when buying a used E46 M3 is to check the rear subframe for any cracks or tears surrounding the mounts. The M3 is notorious for this problem, and it can be very, very expensive to fix. If you do find one with a small amount of damage, there are chassis reinforcement kits that you can buy. Not only will this alleviate small issues, it will also prevent them from occurring in the first place. If you plan on tracking, autocrossing, or racing the car in any form, this upgrade is a must. There are also a couple of recalls on the car. The first was a service action recall done on early 01 to 03 cars. This involved the connecting rod bearings. Due to improper sizing from the factory, it can cause premature failure of the engine. Be sure to check if the car was submitted for recall by the previous owner, and if he or she doesn't know, most BMW shops can pull that information for you. The second recall had to do with the Vanos solenoid. It is prone to failure, so check that as well. Lastly, for the cars with the SMG transmission package, this has been kind of a sore topic for many, especially for those who've had to repair their SMG transmissions. They are known to have problems mainly traced to failing master cylinders starving the SMG pump, leading to premature pump wear and failure. This is a problem that can happen with even a manual car, but certainly more common on SMG cars. This can cause failure of the whole SMG system, so be aware. What I can tell you, however, is that the SMG system is a treat, and although a bit rough and clunky, it is quite raw and a ton of fun when at wide open throttle. Although ownership of a 10-plus-year-old performance BMW can be rather scary, most common problems are run-of-the-mill, and the benefits definitely outweigh the disadvantages. If you're not afraid to get your hands a little dirty, invest some money in repairs, or know a reputable shop you trust to fix your car, then this car could be a good fit for you. Do you currently own an E46 M3 or have owned one in the past? I'd love to hear what you loved and hated about the car. Please please drop me a comment below and please give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. See you all next time.